Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Evans and I will be your instructor for CMME 2000 Media Systems. I apologize up front that I will not be there on your first day of class. It's very distressing to me, but unfortunately I have to attend a conference, so I will actually not be there, as you can see, on Wednesday or Friday. However, I will definitely leave you some things to do, and I will see you first thing on Monday morning on the 25th. But I do want to spend some time going over the syllabus because that is normally what I would do the first day of class. And then on Friday, I have a special assignment for you to do that we will discuss when I get back on Monday. So without any further ado, let's move on to the syllabus. All right, so let's take a look at the syllabus. I just want to tell you now that I'm only going to spend about 10 minutes going over the entire thing. And the reason for that is I don't want you to sit and listen to me drone on for 30 minutes over the syllabus when you really can just sit and read it. But there are some things that I want to highlight, so I will do that. But questions that you have or issues that you have or anything that comes up, please feel free to email me. You can reach me via the SU email system or via Canvas. I get messages both ways. So feel free, if there are things that I don't highlight or you have questions or there's any confusion, to please send me those messages because I welcome them. Okay, so let's get started. So you'll see the course information and my instructor information there. Biggest things to note is where my office is. I'm in 200A, which is the second floor of the 1103 building in the Strategic Communications Center. And then the other thing to note is that I know class officially begins at 10:50, but I have it starting at 11. 10:50 is just very strange to me. So feel free to come at 10:50, but I actually won't begin class until 11. So let's move on to the next thing, which is the course description. So I'm just going to give you my quick version of the course description and the learning outcomes for this class. Basically, we're looking at various media systems and looking at it in terms of historically how they were shaped, politically how they're regulated, as well as the technologies and the cultures that are created because of the media. And we will only spend the first week really talking about US media, and then we move on to media of other countries, because I think that's what's most important about this class, is for you to see how our media system in the US compares to the media system in other cultures and how different they are in terms of the cultures and the political systems that they help create. So if you have questions about that, feel free to let me know, but I think that's kind of the easiest way to say it. So the course objectives are there. I'll let you look those over at your leisure, but the required texts are important. So there's two texts that you will be needing to purchase. One is the Comparing Media Systems Beyond the Western World. That was actually a text that has the course content in terms of looking at case studies that deal with media systems from other countries. There's also the Communication Research textbook, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you will be doing a large research component in this class, and communication research will help guide you for that project. And then of course I will be putting things up on Canvas. There are times you're going to need your phone. There's also a big media project at the end, which I'll talk more about later, but for that you will need to check out equipment. So you can either check out equipment from the communication department, which we'll talk about in a second, or from the Media Production Center, which is located in the library. So again, we'll talk about all of that a little bit later. Course expectations. So basically pretty general here. Come to class, be on time, participate. I mean, that's really the things. We do a lot of class discussions. We're going to have guest speakers. So it's really important that you're there and you're participating each class period. Okay, so the big part, your assignments. Well, you'll be happy to know you really only have 3 big assignments in the class, and then of course a midterm. But your three big assignments are reporting and reflecting blog posts. So you're going to pick a country, and we'll get to that in a second because that's what you're going to be doing on Friday. But you're going to be picking a country that you want to focus on, and it cannot be the US. So you have to pick a country other than the US to focus on. Well, you'll be creating a blog which each week you'll be discussing any news and developments that's happening within their media system. So actually, not to give it away, but that's what you're going to be doing on Friday, is actually going to the library and researching and deciding on what country you think would be best for you to create your blog on each week. So I suggest picking a country you have some interest in, or maybe want to know something more about it, because you're definitely going to be doing quite a bit of research in that area. The second piece are your library research exercises. So every Wednesday, you will be required to go to the library and complete research exercises. So those exercises are all on Canvas. I'll talk more about them on Monday. We'll actually have someone from the library coming into the class to discuss a lot of these techniques that you're going to need to use in order to complete your literature review, which leads me to the last thing you'll be doing, which is next to the last thing, which is your literature review. So you will be putting together a literature review for this class where you will be we'll talk about topics a little bit later, but you'll be deciding on a topic and a research question, and it can even be the same country that your blogs are related on, and you're just searching a particular issue within that country in regards to their media. That's the easiest way to do it, but you're free to pick any topic of any media culture that you choose. And when I say media, I'm using that term freely. That's radio, TV, social media, print media. We'll talk more about that, but I'm really using that term loosely. So you'll be working to put together your topic, your question, and then do your literature review based on that. And then lastly, you're going to do a media project, and that's a group project. So for that project, you'll be working with other people in the class and putting together some sort of video, slideshow. It could be a multimedia news report, even a radio story. I'm going to leave that up to you, but creatively, you're going to create some sort of media piece that tells me about media either in this country. Now for this one, you can do it based on media in this country, media in the countries you've been studying, but some way I want you to inform me about how media affects the political, economic, and cultural aspects of that country. Everything else is pretty standard. The grades and how they're going to be assessed are all there. The grading breakdown of all the assignments that I just discussed are there as well. Class participation is part of your grade, just so you know. So you will be expected, of course, to attend class, but also to ask questions to our guest speakers. We will have 2 of them coming in, and I'm really excited about them because they are actually both women who have worked within social media and media in general to create social change. So they'll talk about how the media in their countries, one woman is from Africa and the other woman is from Syria, and I have their bios posted on Canvas, so you'll be able to read up on them and kind of see what they do and really ask, I hope, some pointed questions about how they use the media to affect social change. Okay, so I'm just going to run through everything else quickly. So equipment, audio tools, the cameras, all of those things you can either get from Verna or the Media Production Center. We actually have a day where we go to the Media Production Center and you will be trained on the equipment. So that's in the syllabus as well. Ethics, making sure that the work is your own, making sure that when you are engaged in your scholarship, particularly like your media project, that you are letting people know what this is for, you're not falsifying any data, all of those sorts of things. I'll let you read that at your leisure as well. Classroom technology policies, that just has to do with your cell phone in class, making sure that it is out of sight and out of reach so it doesn't disturb you or the people next to you. Attendance and deadlines, yes, this is a class in which I hold that very dear. I'm a journalist, so Work needs to be done on time. Of course, I know life happens. You just need to let me know when that does happen, and then I can work with you to make other arrangements. Disabilities. If you have special accommodations or need them, then you can reach the Disability Service Center at the number that I have listed there, or you can go see them at Loyola 100. Plagiarism policy, I've already talked about that. So making sure that your work is your own, it's pretty standard. The grading scale, once again, pretty standard. It's out of 1,000 points for this class, so that information is there. Academic resources. So I just put together a list of resources that could help you with your research, with going to the library, with your writing, going through the writing center. So that's really just for you. So anything that you're having trouble with, of course, come to see me, but also this could be a great reference for you to get some additional help if you're having trouble with any of these skills. We also have an SU video site on YouTube. So there's the login and password for that. There's some things that you're going to be doing where you're going to need to upload to YouTube. So in case you don't have your own YouTube account, I always put that in there for you to be able to use. And you can always make it private so only I can see it. So it makes things really easy as well. And last thing is the Instructor Biography, which is a little bit about me. You know, in a nutshell, I've worked in the media industry for over, 20 years now. Most of my background is TV, as you can see there. So that's always been very near and dear to me. My research area is TV as well. So any questions about any of that, you can feel free to contact me as well. Lastly, it's the schedule. So this is everything that you're going to be doing within the class. Again, subject to change. I always put that caveat in there because we never know how things might change or if there's snow days, Lord forbid, or anything that could happen. So hopefully that's too early in the year for that to occur, but you never know. But this sort of outlines what we're going to be doing each week and when your assignments are due. So definitely I will go over all of this again and answer any questions that you have when I'm back on Monday, but I at least wanted to give you this quick overview so you knew what to expect. Now, as for Friday, I would really like for you to start researching the country that you want to choose for your blog, because as you can see, September 29th, your first blog is due. So my suggestion is on Friday, spend class time at the library researching some countries to determine which country you think you might have an interest in, and particularly one that you might even be able to use for your literature review as well. And then I'll talk more about the nuts and bolts of how you're going to put your blogs and all of that together when I'm back on Monday. That's all I have for you guys. Welcome to the class. Again, I'm sorry that I could not be there, and I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Take care.